The idea is as ambitious as it is audacious. A new canal slicing through the heart of Nicaragua, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This vision, championed by Nicaragua's government, aims to reshape global shipping, offering an alternative to the Panama Canal. The proposed waterway is more than just an engineering feat. It represents Nicaragua's aspirations to become a global trade hub, ushering in an era of economic prosperity. But can this dream, with its grand promises and potential pitfalls, become a reality? The proposed canal's impact on global trade could be significant. It promises a faster, more efficient route for cargo ships, particularly the massive vessels that carry goods from Asia to the Americas. This new channel could reshape shipping routes, impacting global supply chains and potentially lowering the costs of goods. For Nicaragua, the project represents a chance to shed its image as one of Latin America's poorest nations. The canal's success, however, hinges on a multitude of factors, from securing billions in funding to navigating complex geopolitical dynamics. The environmental and social implications are also substantial, raising concerns about the potential damage to Nicaragua's pristine ecosystems and the displacement of indigenous communities. As the world watches, the question remains, will Nicaragua's canal become a transformative force in global trade, or will it be another ambitious dream washed away by the tides of history? The dream of a Nicaraguan canal is not new. For centuries, it's haunted the isthmus, a tantalizing vision for empires and entrepreneurs. As early as the 1500s, Spanish conquistadors saw Nicaragua's potential to link oceans. The U.S. considered it too, before choosing Panama. In 2013, a $50 billion deal with HKND revived the dream, but protests erupted over its environmental and social costs. By 2024, the project collapsed, leaving scars and broken promises. A stark reminder: progress must balance with protection. Undeterred by the ghost of the HKND project, Nicaragua's government has unveiled a new canal plan in late 2024. This time, the route avoids Lake Nicaragua, instead passing through Lake Zolotlan on a 445-kilometer path to the Pacific. Estimated at $64.5 billion, the canal would handle the world's largest cargo ships, surpassing even the expanded Panama Canal. To fund it, Nicaragua is offering incentives to a range of foreign investors, but whether this new route can succeed where the last failed remains uncertain. The economic potential of the canal project looms large in Nicaragua's national psyche. The government paints a picture of a transformed nation, lifted from poverty by a tide of jobs, investment, and global trade. The project promises to be a jobs engine, creating hundreds of thousands of construction jobs, and once operational, providing employment opportunities in logistics, tourism, and related industries. This influx of economic activity is projected to boost Nicaragua's GDP by 9 to 10% annually, propelling it towards middle-income status. The government envisions a ripple effect, with the canal acting as a catalyst for wider infrastructure development, including new roads, railways, and ports. Nicaragua is offering generous incentives to attract foreign investment, positioning itself as a gateway to Latin America and a key link in global supply chains. The country hopes to leverage its strategic location, offering a shorter, potentially cheaper route for goods traveling between Asia and the Americas, thus challenging Panama's dominance in the region. However, translating these economic dreams into reality is fraught with challenges. The sheer scale of the project necessitates massive investment, raising concerns about debt sustainability and the potential for corruption. The success of the canal hinges on a stable political and economic environment, something that has been elusive in Nicaragua's recent history. The proposed canal cuts through more than just land and water. It traverses a geopolitical landscape fraught with tension. The project has become a focal point in the ongoing rivalry between the United States and China, each vying for influence in Central America. The U.S., wary of China's growing presence in its backyard, views the canal with suspicion, concerned that it could become a strategic asset for its geopolitical rival. China, for its part, sees the canal as an opportunity to expand its Belt and Road Initiative, a global infrastructure development program that has, definitely raised eyebrows in Washington. While Nicaragua has sought to diversify its potential investors, the specter of Chinese involvement continues to loom large, adding another layer of complexity to an already delicate situation. The canal project also has implications for Panama, which currently controls the only other waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Panama, which has invested heavily in expanding its own canal, is closely watching developments in Nicaragua. The emergence of a rival canal could potentially undercut Panama's dominance, forcing it to compete on price and efficiency. The Nicaraguan Canal project, therefore, is not just an engineering or economic endeavor, it is a high-stakes geopolitical chess match, with regional and global powers carefully calculating their moves. Its realization hinges not only on overcoming financial and logistical hurdles, but also on navigating the treacherous waters of international relations. Beyond the global politics and economic ambitions, the canal project carries significant environmental and social consequences. Critics argue that carving a path through Nicaragua's rich biodiversity could lead to irreversible damage to ecosystems, including the vast Lake Nicaragua, which is Central America's largest freshwater reservoir. Environmentalists warn that the disruption of natural habitats, deforestation, and the potential for water contamination could have long-term effects on the region's ecology. And then there's the human cost. Thousands of people, including indigenous communities, are at risk of displacement. For many Nicaraguans, the promise of jobs and development is weighed against the fear of losing their homes, land, and way of life. It's a tough trade-off that has sparked protests, legal challenges, and international concern. As the debate continues, the environmental and social dimensions of the canal remain, well, deeply contentious and unresolved. The proposed Nicaraguan canal poses a direct challenge to Panama's long-standing dominance in global maritime trade. Since its expansion in 2016, the Panama Canal has handled larger ships and increased traffic, reinforcing its strategic importance. However, a new canal in Nicaragua could, in theory, divert some of that traffic, especially if it offers competitive transit fees or more efficient logistics. But the rivalry isn't just about economics, it's also about national pride and regional influence. Panama, with over a century of canal management experience, sees itself as the natural hub for interoceanic trade. Nicaragua, on the other hand, views the project as a chance to redefine its role in the global economy. Still, many experts remain skeptical. They argue that duplicating such a massive infrastructure in a nearby country may not be sustainable or even necessary. So, yeah, the competition is real, but the outcome is far from certain. Despite the grand vision, the Nicaraguan Canal project faces a mountain of challenges. Financial backing has been shaky from the start, with key investors pulling out or going silent. Logistically, the scale of construction is, well, staggering, requiring massive earthworks, advanced engineering, and years of sustained effort. Political instability within Nicaragua adds yet another layer of uncertainty, making it difficult to attract long-term commitments. International opposition, environmental concerns, and legal disputes have further stalled progress, and as time drags on, many are beginning to wonder if the canal will ever materialize at all. What began as a bold dream to transform a nation now teeters on the edge of becoming a cautionary tale, a reminder that ambition alone isn't always enough to change the course of history.